The galaxy had many stories, but one name always seemed to drift in the shadows of myth: humans. In the grand empires of alien civilizations, humans were considered folklore. They were said to be creatures of imagination, like old fairy tales whispered to children. Whole star systems believed humanity was extinct or had never existed at all. Captain Aaron Hale stared at the holographic star map in front of him. The Andara cluster stretched across the projection, a beautiful but dangerous area filled with uncharted planets, asteroid belts, and alien colonies. He could feel the weight of history on his shoulders. Humans had been underestimated for centuries. The galaxy had laughed at the idea that humans could survive among the stars, and now he and his crew were about to prove them wrong. "Ready the crew," Hale said, his voice calm but firm. "Remember, they do not believe we exist. We will be the first human fleet they have ever seen." The crew moved with quiet precision. Each member of the human expedition had been chosen for their skill, courage, and intelligence. They were scientists, engineers, pilots, and soldiers. Some were veterans of Earth's defense forces, while others had trained in zero-gravity survival or advanced space technology. They carried no prideful arrogance, only determination. They knew the galaxy would judge humanity by the first impression. As the human ships left their hidden station in the outer rim, Hale looked out the window of the flagship Endurance. The stars glimmered with possibility. Humanity had been hidden long enough. The galaxy was ready to learn the truth. Their first contact came sooner than expected. Sensors detected a fleet of Zorath scouts approaching. The Zorath Empire was known for its towering warriors and advanced crystalline ships. They were ruthless and proud, confident in their military might. When the aliens first saw the human ships, they laughed. The main scout vessel transmitted a message in booming tones. "These are the humans? Folklore? Pathetic." Hale did not respond. Words would not prove anything. Only actions would. The Zorath fired warning shots across the path of the human fleet. It was a show of strength meant to intimidate. But the humans had trained for this. Small, agile vessels darted between asteroid belts, and advanced shields absorbed the energy blasts. Using unexpected tactics, they avoided the first strike without revealing their full capabilities. Lieutenant Mara Singh, a young pilot from Earth, maneuvered her fighter through a dense asteroid field, dodging laser fire. "They're fast, but they don't expect us to use the environment," she said over comms, her voice steady. "If we can outthink them, we can survive." The human strategy was simple but effective: outsmart, adapt, and endure. The Zorath assumed their strength was invincible, but they did not understand human flexibility. When a Zorath cruiser attempted a direct assault, engineers aboard the human ships reprogrammed a nearby mining drone, turning it into a moving decoy that lured the cruiser into an asteroid trap. Hale watched the unfolding battle with measured calm. Each move was deliberate, each decision calculated. Humanity did not have the numbers of the Zorath fleet, but they had something far more valuable: adaptability. After several tense hours, the Zorath retreated. They were shocked. No species had ever resisted them with such unpredictable tactics. The humans had not only survived, they had proven themselves capable of fighting back. The first whispers began among the alien forces. Could the humans be real? Some asked in disbelief. "We thought they were just stories." Others laughed it off. "Impossible. Legends do not exist." Hale knew it would take more than one skirmish to change the galaxy's perception. But the first step had been taken. Humans had entered a galaxy that dismissed them, and they had survived. As the fleet moved deeper into the Andara cluster, humans encountered abandoned outposts and deserted colonies. Evidence of past conflicts and mysterious disappearances suggested a dangerous history. The crew studied these ruins carefully. Engineers scanned the technology left behind, discovering tools and systems far older than anything humans had seen. Some of it was dangerous. Some of it was brilliant. Every discovery reminded them that survival required not just strength but intelligence. In one ruined settlement, they found holographic records of ancient battles. The images showed alien civilizations fighting each other with devastating weapons. The humans watched silently. None of the aliens in the recordings seemed concerned about humans, yet somehow, humanity's legends persisted in the whispers of galactic storytellers. Hale addressed his crew. "The galaxy may have forgotten us. They may have written us off as fantasy. But that does not matter. What matters is what we do now. We fight, we endure, and we show them who we really are, The crew nodded. Each member understood the importance of their mission. It was more than exploration. It was a demonstration of humanity's resilience. Days passed and the human fleet continued its journey. They faced environmental hazards, massive solar storms, shifting asteroid fields, and uncharted black holes. Each challenge tested their skills, coordination, and courage. Humans adapted quickly, finding solutions where aliens might have panicked or retreated. Captain Hale kept morale high. "Remember," he told the crew one evening, "we are the first of our kind to return to the galaxy in centuries. Every action we take will define what it means to be human. Let them think of us as legends, but when they meet us, let them see reality." Then came a signal, faint but distinct. A distress call from a nearby planet. The human fleet altered course to investigate. They found a small colony under attack by a group of alien raiders. The aliens were confident, just as the Zorath had been, believing no human forces could interfere. Hale ordered his fleet into formation. "We help them," he said, "not just because it is right, but because it shows the galaxy what humanity is capable of." The battle was swift and decisive. Human tactics and technology overwhelmed the raiders, who retreated in confusion. The colonists, previously resigned to defeat, watched in awe as humans landed and offered assistance. For the first time in generations, someone looked upon humanity and did not see folklore. They saw real, living, capable beings. Afterward, the humans helped repair the colony's defenses and shared technology to prevent future attacks. Hale spoke to the leaders, explaining their mission to explore, to protect, and to prove humanity's strength. That night, as the fleet rested near a distant star, the crew reflected on the events of the day. They had faced disbelief, danger, and overwhelming odds, and yet they had survived. Humanity had taken its first steps into a galaxy that had dismissed them for centuries. Hale gazed out at the stars, feeling a mixture of pride and anticipation. "This is only the beginning," he murmured. "The galaxy has forgotten us. Soon it will remember, and when it does, it will see that humanity is not just a legend. We are a force to be reckoned with." Somewhere across the cluster, alien storytellers whispered again. This time their tales were different. They spoke of humans, the creatures who were said to be myths, and how they had appeared without warning, capable of strategy, courage, and endurance. Whispers of fear and curiosity spread among alien fleets. The name humans was no longer just a story. It had become a question and a warning. The Endurance and its fleet moved forward, deeper into uncharted space. Captain Hale and his crew knew that greater challenges awaited, but they also knew that humanity had something no legend could take away: its will to survive, adapt, and fight. The galaxy would soon learn that humanity was real, and that they were nothing to underestimate. The human fleet had entered the Andara cluster, and the galaxy was beginning to take notice. No longer whispers of myths, humans were now questions in the minds of alien commanders. Yet being noticed brought danger. Captain Aaron Hale reviewed the latest intelligence in the command center of the flagship Endurance. Sensors had detected a larger alien settlement on the nearby planet of Lyrith 9. This settlement was home to the Zorath Empire's forward troops, a full battalion equipped with powerful ships and advanced weapons. The Zorath considered humans a nuisance at best, a myth to mock at worst. But Hale knew better. "They won't expect us to engage directly," Hale said, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "But we don't just fight to survive. We fight to be seen. We fight to show the galaxy what humans are capable of." Lieutenant Mara Singh leaned over the console. "Captain, their fleet is twice our size. We'll need precise coordination and clever tactics. They'll expect a straight attack. We can't give them that," Hale nodded. "Exactly. We'll use the environment to our advantage. Nebulae, asteroid fields, anything they can't predict. That's where humans excel." The fleet moved toward Lyrith 9 under stealth protocols. The humans were small in number but fast, agile, and adaptive. Each ship carried experimental cloaking technology, advanced shields, and weapons capable of unexpected effects. The crew had trained for this moment, studying alien behavior and anticipating reactions. As they approached the planet, sensors confirmed the presence of the Zorath battalion. The aliens, confident in their superiority, had arranged their ships in a wide formation around the planet, ready to defend their colony. A voice crackled over human communications. It was the Zorath commander, booming with arrogance. "Humans, You do not exist. Turn back before your fragile vessels are crushed. Hale did not respond. Instead, he gave quiet orders to his fleet. Fighters and bombers took their positions, weaving between asteroids while the main ships remained cloaked. Humans were about to prove that unpredictability was their greatest weapon. The first attack came without warning. Zorath energy beams cut through space, striking at the nearest human vessels. One fighter was hit, sending alarms blaring. Mara Singh dodged through a maze of asteroids, her training guiding every maneuver. They're fast, but they rely on brute strength, she muttered. We can outsmart them. Engineers aboard the Endurance worked quickly. They rerouted power to shields, reprogrammed drones to act as decoys, and prepared electromagnetic pulses to disable enemy targeting systems. The humans had no desire to waste energy on conventional attacks. They relied on creativity, flexibility, and coordination. Suddenly, a squadron of human fighters emerged from behind a large asteroid. They swooped down on the unsuspecting Zorath cruisers, striking with precision. Explosions rocked the alien ships as humans exploited blind spots and gaps in their formation. The aliens were shocked. No one had ever attacked them this way. Hale observed the battle calmly. Remember, he said over comms, we are not just here to fight. We are here to show the galaxy that humans survive against impossible odds. Adapt, improvise, and don't panic, the Zorath commander roared in anger. Impossible. How can these weak creatures resist us? But it was not weakness that allowed humans to fight. They were clever, adaptable, and fearless. In one daring maneuver, humans used the planet's magnetic field to alter the trajectory of a series of asteroids, sending them crashing into a formation of Zorath warships. The aliens scrambled, unprepared for such ingenuity. Meanwhile, Mara Singh led a strike team to disable the Zorath communication array. If we cut their coordination, they'll fall apart, she said. Her fighters darted through defensive fire, targeting the array with pinpoint accuracy. The explosion that followed sent waves of interference through the enemy fleet. Chaos erupted among the Zorath ships. Hale seized the opportunity. Deploy boarding drones, he ordered. We don't need to destroy them all. Show them humans are not to be ignored. Tiny drones launched from the human fleet, slipping past shields and boarding the largest alien cruisers. Inside, they disrupted systems, sabotaged weapons, and sent false signals that made the Zorath suspect betrayal among their own ranks. The aliens were confused, fighting shadows and miscommunications. The humans pressed their advantage. Small squads landed on the planet itself, assisting local colonists and securing strategic locations. The Zorath soldiers on the ground had expected an easy victory, but humans moved with speed, coordination, and courage that no one had anticipated. Hours passed, and the battle reached its climax. The Zorath commander attempted a desperate counterattack, directing all remaining forces toward the human fleet. Hale anticipated the move. Using a combination of decoys, traps, and clever positioning, humans turned the counterattack into a disaster for the aliens. Several of their cruisers collided with asteroids while others were disabled by electromagnetic pulses. Finally, the Zorath commander called a retreat. This is not over, humans, he shouted before cutting communication. The human fleet regrouped, surveying the aftermath. Losses had been minimal compared to the enemy, and the colonists of Lirath 9 cheered as humans helped repair their defenses. Captain Hale addressed his crew. Today we showed the galaxy that humans are real, and we are not afraid. Today we are no longer stories. We are a force to be respected. The victory was not just about winning a battle. It was about changing perception. Across the Andara cluster, alien systems received reports of the strange humans who had fought against impossible odds and survived. Whispers of disbelief became murmurs of curiosity, and some even began to fear the unknown potential of humanity. Hale knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, and humans were just a small fleet among many civilizations. But if one lesson was clear, it was this: humans were not easily defeated, and they would always find a way to survive. Over the next few days, the human fleet continued to patrol the region. They repaired damaged ships, gathered intelligence, and prepared for the inevitable next encounter. Each crew member understood the significance of their actions. Every battle, every maneuver, every act of courage contributed to the growing legend of humanity. Lieutenant Singh reflected on the events. They thought we were myths. They thought we were weak, but we're stronger than they imagined. We fight with our minds, not just our weapons. Hale smiled. Exactly. The galaxy has underestimated humans for too long. And now it will learn. We adapt, we endure, and we always find a way forward. Even as the fleet moved on, sensors detected other alien patrols observing them from a distance. The humans had been seen and the message was clear. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never ignore them again. That night, as the crew rested, Hale stood alone on the observation deck of the Endurance. Stars stretched endlessly before him, each one a potential challenge, a possible threat, or a future ally. He thought of Earth, the planet that had once been humanity's only home. Now humanity was reaching into the stars and their story was being rewritten. They called us myths, Hale whispered to himself. They thought we were gone. But we are here, and we will fight. Across the cluster, alien storytellers began to record new tales. Humans were no longer fantasy creatures whispered about in cautionary tales. They were real, and their bravery, ingenuity, and adaptability became the new stories that traveled from system to system. The first clash had ended, but humanity's journey had only begun. Battles would grow larger, enemies more cunning, and challenges more dangerous. Yet the humans of Captain Hale's fleet were ready. They had proven themselves once, and they would do it again. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy faced the reality of humanity, not as legends, not as myths, but as living, capable beings. And the universe was about to discover just how extraordinary humans could be. After the battle on Lyrith 9, the human fleet moved carefully through the Andara cluster. Word of their victory spread quickly, even among civilizations far beyond their current reach. Alien commanders whispered of the humans who had survived a full battalion of Zorath warriors, fought with ingenuity, and emerged victorious. Some feared them, some laughed nervously, and a few began to wonder if perhaps humans were not just myths, but something far more dangerous. Captain Aaron Hale gathered his senior officers on the Endurance. The galaxy is beginning to take notice, he said. We've won a battle, but this is just the start. We are small in number, and the Zorath will not forget what we did here. Soon they will send stronger forces. We must be ready. Lieutenant Mara Singh studied the star maps. Captain, I've been analyzing communication patterns. Some alien factions are talking about forming alliances with us. They've seen our tactics and think we could be valuable partners. Hale raised an eyebrow. Allies? Who would trust humans? Singh pointed to a blinking signal on the map. The Marak Dominion. They've been observing us. They are not part of the Zorath Empire, and they have a reason to oppose it. They're offering aid, technology, intelligence, and resources. But they want assurances. They don't fully trust us yet. Hale considered the proposal. Humanity had survived by being clever and adaptable, but diplomacy was a new challenge. Trust was a rare commodity in the galaxy, and it would take careful negotiation to secure it. Arrange a meeting, he ordered. We'll see if we can work together. But remember, humans stand on their own first. Allies are a bonus, not a necessity. The meeting took place on a neutral asteroid station. The Marak delegation arrived in sleek ships, alien figures moving with precise elegance. Their leader, a tall being with translucent skin and glowing blue eyes, introduced themselves as Commander Vera. You humans are remarkable, Vera said, their voice soft but commanding. No one expected you to survive a direct confrontation with the Zorath. We have watched your fleet, your tactics, and your ingenuity. You are unlike anything we imagined. Hale nodded politely. We appreciate your observation. Humans have always been underestimated, but we are not here for praise. We are here to protect ourselves and to survive. Vera tilted their head. We can offer assistance. Technology, intelligence networks, even trained warriors. In exchange, we ask only that we be considered partners in the coming conflicts. The Zorath will not forget what you have done, and their retaliation will be swift. Hale studied Vera. He could sense their honesty, but also their caution. We will accept your help, but know this. Humans fight with their own strength first. We do not rely on others to protect us. You will fight alongside us, not for us. Vera considered the words carefully. Agreed. With the alliance formed, the humans and Marak forces began planning their next moves. Information from the Marak Dominion revealed that the Zorath were preparing a larger fleet, intending to crush human resistance before it could grow stronger. The intelligence was clear. Humans were now a target across the Andara cluster. Hale gathered his officers. We face enemies who believe humans are nothing. They underestimate us, and that is their mistake. But we also have allies now. The Marak Dominion brings technology we can use, intelligence we could not have gathered alone, and experience we can learn from. Together we can survive, and more importantly, we can show the galaxy that humans are not to be ignored. The next few weeks were spent training, sharing knowledge, and preparing for future battles. Marak engineers upgraded human ships with advanced shields and stealth systems. Pilots learned new techniques for maneuvering in deep space. Soldiers studied alien combat tactics, blending them with human ingenuity. Yet even with preparation, danger was never far away. Scouts reported that Zorath forces were massing near the edge of the cluster. Their numbers were greater than before, their ships larger and better armed. The humans and their allies had to be ready for a confrontation that could decide the balance of power in the region. Hale held a meeting with the combined fleet. The Zorath think they can crush us. They think humans are myths, stories that cannot fight back. They are wrong. We will show them that humans are real, and we will show them that we are not alone. The humans and Marak forces moved into position near a dense asteroid belt. It was a dangerous location, but one that favored those who could think creatively. Hale's strategy relied on using the environment to offset the enemy's numerical advantage. As the Zorath fleet arrived, the aliens were confident. Their vessels glimmered under the light of distant stars, and their commanders laughed at the sight of humans preparing defenses. Pathetic creatures, one Zorath officer sneered. They believe they can survive us? Hale did not reply. Words would not win this battle. Only action would. The fight began with a series of skirmishes along the edges of the asteroid belt. Human pilots used small, agile fighters to strike quickly and retreat. They disrupted supply lines, disabled weapon systems, and forced the Zorath to divide their forces. The Marak warriors complemented the humans, using advanced weapons and shields to hold strategic positions. For hours, the battle raged. Explosions lit the darkness of space, and ships moved like living creatures, weaving between asteroids, dodging fire, and striking at vulnerable points. Humans demonstrated their greatest strength, adaptability. Every time the Zorath attempted a new strategy, humans found a counter. Every attempt to trap them failed. In one daring maneuver, a human pilot named Daniel Reyes led a squadron through a narrow asteroid tunnel, emerging behind the Zorath fleet. Using newly acquired Marak tech, they disabled the main communications array of the enemy fleet. Confusion spread quickly among the Zorath ships. Orders were delayed or misinterpreted, and panic began to take hold. Hale saw the opportunity. Deploy boarding drones and focus fire on the largest cruisers. Take control where you can, but avoid unnecessary risk. The humans acted with precision. Boarding drones infiltrated the Zorath ships, disrupting systems and creating chaos. Fighters struck at weak points. Soldiers on the planet below sabotaged ground forces. The Zorath, confident and powerful, were being undone by creativity, courage, and teamwork. Finally, after a long and grueling battle, the Zorath commander signaled a retreat. Their fleet withdrew, leaving the humans and Marak forces victorious. It was not a complete annihilation, but it was a clear and undeniable message. Humans were not to be underestimated. The victory was celebrated quietly. While humans had won, they had also seen the cost of survival in a galaxy that did not believe they existed. Losses had been suffered, and each crew member knew that more challenges awaited. Yet morale was high. Humanity had proven that even against overwhelming odds they could survive and thrive. Hale addressed the crew. The Zorath will not forget this day. The galaxy will not forget it. We have made ourselves known. Humans are real. We fight, we endure, and we adapt. This is only the beginning. Remember that every action we take defines what it means to be human. Across the cluster, alien civilizations whispered of the strange human fleet and their unexpected allies. The tales grew rapidly. Humans were no longer myths. They were warriors, clever and brave, capable of surviving situations that had defeated countless other species. Lieutenant Singh reflected on the battle. They thought we were weak. They thought we were stories. But we showed them that humans are more than they imagined. They can laugh at us now, but next time they will think twice. Hale nodded. Exactly. We've made a mark today. But the galaxy is vast. Our journey is far from over. We must continue to grow, to learn, and to fight. Humans have been underestimated for too long. It's time the universe remembers us not as legends, but as reality. As the fleet moved away from the battlefield, the stars stretched endlessly ahead. Each system represented both opportunity and danger. Hale knew the next challenges would test every skill, every decision, and every human in the fleet. But if the first battles proved anything, it was this. Humanity had something no other species could match: the ability to adapt, endure, and fight with courage beyond expectation. The humans of the Endurance and their allies were no longer unseen. They had claimed their place in the galaxy, and the story of their first clash with the Zorath would be told for generations. The legends of humans had begun to change, from myths whispered in fear to truths spoken with respect and awe. And somewhere, in the depths of space, the Zorath commander realized the truth. Humans were not just stories. They were alive, they were dangerous, and they were only getting stronger. The galaxy was changing. After the humans' victories on Lareth 9 and their first coordinated battle with the Marek allies, whispers of humanity had become urgent discussions among alien empires. The Zorath Empire, humiliated and enraged, began preparing a massive response. Their fleets gathered in secret, drawing ships from every corner of their territory. They would not underestimate humans again. Captain Aaron Hale stood on the bridge of the Endurance, his face calm but his mind racing. The sensors showed the enormous Zorath fleet approaching. "This is it," he said quietly. "They've come to finish what they started. But we are ready. Every maneuver, every strategy we've trained for is about to be tested." Lieutenant Mara Singh examined the tactical maps. "They've doubled their fleet size since the last engagement. We will face thousands of ships. We'll need more than just agility and clever tactics. We need a plan that surprises them completely." Hale nodded. "We will use everything at our disposal. Our fleet is smaller, yes, but humans are unpredictable. That is our greatest strength. They expect a normal battle. We will give them anything but." The human fleet, bolstered by Marek allies, moved toward the Nebula Rift, a region filled with dense clouds of gas and massive asteroid formations. It was a dangerous place, but it offered perfect opportunities for ambushes and creative maneuvers. Hale chose the location intentionally. "We fight where the Zorath cannot rely solely on firepower," he said. "Here we can control the flow of battle." The first scouts of the Zorath fleet entered the Nebula Rift. Their energy beams cut through the gas clouds, searching for the hidden human ships. The aliens were confident. They assumed humans would fight in open space like every other species. They did not understand human tactics. The battle began with small skirmishes along the edges of the nebula. Human fighters darted through the gas clouds, striking quickly and disappearing before the enemy could respond. Using the dense environment, humans launched sudden attacks on weak points in the Zorath formation. Explosions lit up the nebula, shocking the larger alien forces. Captain Hale coordinated the movements carefully. "Divide and isolate," he instructed over the comms. "Force them to fight on our terms. Do not engage where they are strongest. Use your speed, your environment, and your intelligence." Marek warriors complemented the human strategy perfectly. Their energy weapons cut through the enemy's defenses, while their shields protected vulnerable human ships. Together, humans and Marek allies created an unpredictable, agile force that the Zorath could not anticipate. Hours passed, and the Zorath commander grew frustrated. "These humans, they are nothing like the legends. How can they resist us? How can they adapt so quickly?" But it was not luck. Humans had prepared meticulously, studied their enemy, and practiced every possible scenario. They adapted constantly, improvising solutions faster than the Zorath could respond. In a daring maneuver, a squadron of human pilots led by Lieutenant Singh used the gas clouds to hide a series of micro-drones. The drones swarmed the Zorath's command ship, disrupting communication and navigation systems. The alien flagship, once the center of control, now faltered. Orders were delayed or misinterpreted. Confusion spread across the fleet. Hale seized the opportunity. "Focus fire on their largest vessels. Use the rift to trap them. Strike with speed, then retreat. Never give them a chance to recover." The human fleet moved with precision, striking isolated cruisers and luring others into asteroid formations. The Zorath ships collided or became trapped, unable to maneuver effectively. Explosions rocked the nebula as human ingenuity and courage overwhelmed sheer numbers. On the surface of nearby planets, Zorath ground forces awaited reinforcements, unaware that their fleet was being crippled. Human operatives, supported by Marek technology, launched small raids to sabotage supply depots and communication towers. Every action contributed to the chaos, turning the Zorath's planned dominance into a series of desperate struggles. Even as the battle raged, Hale remained focused. "Remember, this is not just survival," he reminded the fleet. "This is a statement. We are humans. We are real, and the galaxy will see it today." The turning point came when the human engineers activated a new weapon, a gravity pulse generator. The device created localized distortions, pulling Zorath cruisers off course and into collisions with asteroids or each other. The Zorath flagship tried to maneuver, but the pulse disrupted its engines. Humans attacked with everything they had. Finally, the Zorath commander signaled a retreat. "This is not over," he bellowed, but the voice carried no confidence. The fleet disengaged, leaving the humans and Marak forces victorious. It was a decisive battle, a clear demonstration of humanity's capabilities. The human crew cheered quietly, though they were exhausted. They had faced overwhelming odds and survived. They had adapted, innovated, and shown the galaxy that humans were not just a forgotten story. Hale addressed the crew over the comms. "Today we faced a force larger and stronger than any before, and we prevailed. We have shown that humans are capable of incredible courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. This is our mark on the galaxy. Remember this moment. It is proof that we endure." News of the battle spread faster than the human fleet could move. Alien systems that had previously dismissed humans now spoke of them with caution. Humans were no longer myths. They were survivors, warriors, and a force that could not be ignored. Even in distant star systems, leaders debated the meaning of humanity's sudden appearance. Some sought to ally themselves with humans, seeing potential for cooperation. Others began to plan defenses, realizing that ignoring humans could be disastrous. Back on the Endurance, Lieutenant Singh reflected on the battle. "They thought humans were weak. They thought we were stories. But we fought with our minds and our courage. We adapted when they could not. That is what makes us strong," Hale nodded. "Exactly. Human strength is not just in technology or numbers. It is in our creativity, our resilience, and our determination. We survive where others fail. That is our greatest weapon." The fleet moved on from the Nebula Rift, leaving behind the remnants of the Zorath forces. Every ship, every crew member carried the memory of the battle. They knew the galaxy had changed. Humans had arrived, and their presence would no longer be ignored. The next phase of their journey was uncertain. The Zorath Empire would recover and strike again. Other civilizations would test humanity, some as enemies, some as allies. But the humans of Captain Hale's fleet had proven one undeniable truth. No matter the odds, humans would adapt, endure, and fight. As Hale stood on the observation deck, staring at the endless stars, he felt both pride and anticipation. The galaxy was vast, filled with threats and opportunities. Humans had survived battles that should have destroyed them. They had forged alliances that would strengthen their position. And most importantly, they had proven that a species once considered folklore could change the course of galactic history. Hale whispered to himself, "The galaxy thought humans were myths. Now they will know the truth. We are here, and we will continue to fight, to endure, and to shape the stars." In the darkness of space, alien storytellers began to recount new tales. Humans were no longer the creatures of legend. They were reality. Stories of courage, intelligence, and survival spread across the stars. The galaxy was beginning to understand what humanity had always known. Strength comes not just from power, but from adaptability, courage, and the will to survive. The turning point had come. Humanity had moved from myth to legend, and the galaxy would never forget the day humans showed that even against impossible odds, they could fight, adapt, and win. The galaxy was no longer the same. Humans had arrived, and their presence had changed everything. Captain Aaron Hale stood on the bridge of the Endurance, observing the stars as the fleet moved toward the central systems of the Andara cluster. Every alien civilization that had dismissed humans as folklore now whispered of their courage, intelligence, and adaptability. Yet, Hale knew that recognition would not come easily. The Zorath Empire, humiliated by multiple defeats, was gathering its remaining fleets. Other civilizations, curious or envious, were watching closely, waiting to see if humanity could continue to survive. Every step forward required strategy, courage, and ingenuity. Lieutenant Mara Singh approached Hale. "Captain, intelligence reports show several factions are sending envoys. Some seek alliances, others want to challenge us. Humanity has become an enigma." Hale nodded. "We expected this. Humans have always been underestimated. Now it's time the galaxy learns not to underestimate us ever again." The first envoys arrived from the Talari Union, a peaceful but technologically advanced civilization. Their leader, Ambassador Kalen, spoke with quiet authority. "Captain Hale, humans have proven themselves remarkable. The galaxy has long overlooked your species. We wish to formally recognize humanity as an independent force and offer cooperation for mutual benefit." Hale studied the alien carefully. "We appreciate your offer. Humanity stands on its own. We will accept allies, but we will never be dependent on them. Our strength comes from our ability to adapt, endure, and fight when necessary." Kalen bowed respectfully. "Understood. We hope our cooperation will strengthen both our peoples." Even as diplomacy unfolded, the shadow of the Zorath Empire loomed. Reports indicated that a massive fleet was assembling, determined to crush the humans once and for all. Hale knew this confrontation would decide humanity's future in the galaxy. The humans had survived small fleets before, but this would be their greatest challenge yet. The human fleet moved to a strategic position near the shattered moons, a cluster of broken worlds with dense asteroid fields and deep gravitational anomalies. It was a dangerous region, but it offered the perfect advantage for humans to turn their perceived weakness into strength. Hale addressed the fleet. "The Zorath believe they can overwhelm us with sheer numbers. They are wrong. We will use our intelligence, creativity, and coordination to turn the battlefield in our favor. Remember, humans survive where others fail. Today we show the galaxy what that truly means." The Zorath fleet arrived, larger and more powerful than ever before. Their warships blazed across space, a formidable sight meant to intimidate. The humans, calm and disciplined, prepared their defenses and strategies with precision. The battle began with sudden strikes by human fighters weaving through the asteroid fields. Small squadrons exploited blind spots in the Zorath formation, targeting engines and weapon systems with pinpoint accuracy. Maric allies provided additional firepower and shields, creating a coordinated strike force that the Zorath could not anticipate. Hale observed the battle, analyzing each movement. "Divide their attention, isolate their forces, and strike unpredictably," he instructed. "We are not just fighting. We are showing the galaxy that humans are real, and we survive by thinking faster, adapting quicker, and never giving up." The Zorath launched their counterattack, massive energy beams cutting through the asteroid fields. Several human vessels were hit, alarms blaring. But human engineers prepared for this, deployed adaptive shields and countermeasures. Ships that should have been destroyed survived, and the humans continued their coordinated assault. Lieutenant Singh led a daring maneuver, guiding a squadron through narrow passages between floating debris to disable the Zorath command ship. Using advanced Maric technology, the squadron sent electronic pulses that scrambled communication and navigation systems. The flagship faltered, its crew confused and disorganized. The Zorath commander, realizing the battle was slipping away, attempted a desperate frontal assault. Hale anticipated the move. "Lure them into the trap," he said. "Use the terrain to your advantage. Strike where they are weakest." The humans executed perfectly. The Zorath fleet, drawn into the asteroid-laden region, found themselves trapped, colliding with debris or disabled by hidden mines and gravity distortions. Boarding drones infiltrated key cruisers, disabling weapons and creating chaos. Human ingenuity and courage turned the overwhelming enemy into a shattered force. After hours of intense fighting, the Zorath commander signaled surrender. Their fleet retreated in disarray, leaving the humans and Maric allies victorious. For the first time, the Zorath Empire recognized humans not as myths, not as folklore, but as a real and formidable species. Hale addressed his crew over the comms. "Today, humans have faced impossible odds and survived. We have shown the galaxy that we are more than legends. We fight, we endure, and we adapt. This victory is not just for us. It is proof that humanity belongs among the stars." Alien civilizations across the cluster began to send messages of acknowledgement, respect, and cautious alliance. Some offered trade, technology, and resources. Others sought to study humans, curious how a species once dismissed as folklore could achieve such victories. Humanity had earned a reputation that no story could diminish. On board the Endurance, the crew celebrated quietly. They had survived the largest battle yet, but they knew more challenges would come. Still, they also knew that humanity's name would no longer be forgotten. Across the stars, humans were being remembered for their courage, intelligence, and resilience. Lieutenant Singh reflected on the journey so far. We started as myths, stories whispered across the galaxy. Now we are known, respected, and feared. The galaxy sees what humans can do, and that is our greatest victory. Hale smiled, looking out at the endless stars. Humans survive where others fail. That is our greatest strength. Today we have proven it once more. But remember, our journey is not over. The galaxy is vast, and our story continues. Every star, every system, every challenge is an opportunity to show what humanity is truly capable of. Even the Zorath, defeated but not broken, could not ignore the humans. They sent envoys to parley, wary of further conflict. Their arrogance had been tempered by the undeniable proof of human skill, ingenuity, and courage. Across the Andara cluster, species that once dismissed humans as fairy tales began to reconsider their assumptions. Captain Hale and his crew moved forward, exploring new systems, securing allies, and defending colonies under threat. They continued to adapt, innovate, and fight where necessary. Humanity's legend grew, not as myth but as living proof that determination, intelligence, and courage could overcome any odds. On a quiet evening aboard the Endurance, Hale spoke to his crew. We have changed the galaxy's perception of humans forever. From now on, our name will be remembered not as a story but as reality. We have faced impossible odds and survived. We have fought, adapted, and triumphed, and we will continue to do so. The stars stretched endlessly before them, a canvas of infinite possibility. Humans had arrived, no longer dismissed, no longer forgotten. Their presence had sparked change, reshaped alliances, and challenged assumptions. The galaxy had learned that humans were not to be underestimated. As the fleet moved onward, alien storytellers began to recount new tales. Humans were no longer creatures of legend. They were real, capable, and extraordinary. Stories of courage, intelligence, and survival spread from star to star. The galaxy remembered humanity, not as myth, not as folklore, but as a species that had arrived, fought, and endured against all odds. Captain Hale stood on the observation deck, gazing at the stars. They said we were myths. They said we were gone. But we are here, and we will continue to fight, to endure, and to adapt. Humanity is no longer a story. We are reality, and the galaxy will remember us forever. The human fleet sailed onward into the vastness of space, ready for new challenges, new discoveries, and new battles. But no matter what awaited them, one truth was clear. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never again forget the name of those who had survived where others had failed.